Um, my name is Allison Samuels. I'm here on behalf of the Level Up Project, which is an initiative that I officially began over the last few months, but in many ways, this has been on my mind for a number of years. And I am still honestly in a bit of shock that this thing is actually happening right now, that all of you are here, and that hundreds of people around the country and world are participating in this project, which we launched not even a month ago. It is truly humbling. I am beyond thrilled to welcome you all to our very first workshop week with the Level Up Project and supporting our vision of accessible education, knowledge sharing, and network building. All of us at the project have an innate sense that the industries we work within need to change and that we are individually responsible for helping that shift along. It is through both small and daily habit changes alongside collective action that we think systems can be created to support more people. And right now, you are part of that creating. An idea that I've been returning to a lot in the last few months, articulated by activist and abolitionist Miriam Kaba, is that we don't have to build things that last forever. We should not need a project like this to exist in the first place, because free and accessible education and knowledge sharing should be baseline. I started this project as just one of many resources and stepping blocks on the way to greater equity in the physical skills-based fields of predominantly craft and design, and I do consider cooking to be a craft, which is why we are here right now. And I think Katie and Sachi exemplify that idea of cooking as craft. This model works, that is allowing anyone to participate who wants for free, including materials, because we are collecting all of the dollars into one pot and then redistributing them back out. We believe that everyone contributing in accordance with their wealth and privilege is one way to achieve a more equitable social system. And it has been really exciting watching this happen in real time as you all are making it happen. We can build a framework, but if you are not here to participate, then it does not work. So thank you for being here. As a reminder, all proceeds from our ticket sales and donations through our website are going to Arts Business Collaborative and Map for Youth, which is a mutual aid project. If you feel strongly about our work here with the Level Up Project, we of course invite you to donate through the website. I'm going to be the admin for this workshop. Please feel free to drop any questions that you have or comments into the chat box, or DM me separately if you don't want them going to the whole group. I am going to have my sound off and will be collecting your questions and either chiming in real time if it seems pertinent to the discussion, or saving them for a bit later when there's like a pause in conversation. And we will pause at around 15 to 20 minutes towards the end as Katie and Sachi are plating, and hopefully you can start eating. Katie and Sachi would love your participation. And please keep your videos on. We would love to see you if you feel comfortable. And please keep your mics off just for minimizing feedback. But of course, Katie and Sachi will be asking for some verbal participation at some points. Please feel free to unmute yourselves and chime in, or do like the thumbs up thing on the screen. That said, I am very new to the Zoom thing. Katie and Sachi are too. So any technical glitches, apologies in advance. Feel free to ping me. I will do my very best to address that in real time. But really, apologies for any weird stuff that happens. Reminder that this workshop is being recorded and will be hosted on our website. You'll be receiving an email link to the recording in about a week, so you can continue watching it like forever and ever. And I think that's it. On that note, I would love to officially welcome Katie and Sachi, who started cooking together as a way to build community and recreate the Korean and Japanese dishes from their childhoods. In late 2017, they founded Both And, an art collective turned cooking practice. Since then, they have worked for Michelin-starred restaurants such as Octavia and 11 Madison Park, hosted dining events and galleries in LA and Chicago, were chefs in residence at Marble House Project, cooked for numerous pop-ups, private events, as well as communal, monthly, pay what you wish dinners. I can attest to this. They are freaking delicious. They are both currently based in Brooklyn, New York. And on that note, I would love to turn over the virtual floor to Katie and Sachi to get us started.
Thanks so much, Al. You're amazing, and we are so honored to be a part of this project. Yeah, hi. We're really excited to cook this late lunch with you. The reason why we chose for a late afternoon sort of time is that we think that this meal is a really nice breakfast lunch option. It's not too heavy. You're gonna leave hopefully like feeling a little comforted, especially with the fall, but with energy to keep your day going.
And like Al said, we're gonna be doing a lot of steps in this Zoom, and it might seem overwhelming at once, so feel free to put in the chat if we're moving a little too fast. And also, we're gonna be asking for you all to give us a thumbs up so we know we're ready, that we can move to the next step. So just keep an ear out for that. And let's get started. Yay! Okay, so the first thing we hope, we're gonna be addressing if you did get the materials packet in the mail and if you didn't. So we hope if you did that you've opened it already, and if you should have received this package of kombu and dried shiitake mushrooms. So we're going to be using the kombu right now. So if you didn't get the packet, we're going to be using about 2 to 3 inches of kombu, and we're going to just soak that in some room temperature to cold water. So we're going to use about 2 to 3 cups. I think we're going to go for 3 cups of water, which Katie's measuring out right now. And just remove the kombu from the package, keep the mushrooms separate, and we're just going to steep it. And then cover that and set that aside, and we're not going to worry about it until later.
Perfect. Thank you.
Thank you. So,
yeah, we're going to wait till everyone gets caught up with that. So what are we doing right now, Sachi? Why are we steeping the kombu with cold water?
So that is the first step to our soup, and it's the first step to making dashi, which is basically a soup base, and it can be flavored with a variety of things, but we're going to use kombu, which is like a salted, dried seaweed or kelp. And yeah, how's everyone doing? Good? Ready for the next step?
Looks like a lot of thumbs up.
Yeah.
Okay,
great.
Cool. So now we're going to move on to the eggs. We're going to make onsen eggs for this dish. Onsen literally means hot springs in Japanese. So in Japan, there's a lot of hot springs on the land, and people used to boil eggs for a long period of time in the hot springs, and what you would end up with is like this silky, soft, custardy, pretty loose egg. And so we're going to make that today. And so for the first step, we asked you all to get some hot water ready, and so we're going to boil 4 cups of water. So we have some hot water. Got it.
Yeah, of course. You get the towel.
So like I said, if your water is warm, that's great because it's just going to expedite our boiling process, but just take 4 cups or a little over is fine too of water, and we're going to boil that to a rolling boil. So I'm also going to cover it so that it just goes faster.
Okay, while we're waiting for that, do you want to show folks what we're gonna do?
So other things that we need to get ready while we're waiting for it to boil is a ladle or a bowl to drop your eggs in. We're going to be using cold, like from the fridge eggs, so you can get those out.
And also we want to get ready some ice water. So we just have a quart here with a bunch of ice. We're only looking for a cup of ice water, so we don't need that much, but we want it to be as cold as possible.
So basically what we did when trying to figure out this recipe without a thermometer, so if you use a thermometer to make onsen eggs, you're looking to keep your water temperature at about 165 to 167 for 13 minutes. But we wanted to figure out a way so that if people don't have thermometers, they can make these eggs. So what I'm doing right now is trying to get extremely hot water and ice water and mixing them together, so we know we can like kind of guess what the temperature of the water is going to be. So while we're waiting, just to repeat everything so people can be on the same page, we're waiting for our hot water to boil. We're getting some ice water ready, just about a cup, but you want to make sure it's pretty cold, so put plenty of ice in there. And then you want to get 2 cold eggs. And as well as that ladle or bowl to drop the eggs in the water without them cracking.
And we're gonna need ice for after the eggs cook, so if you have like an ice tray, don't use all of your ice, save some for later. Yeah, do you want to show folks how we're gonna do it so that we don't, once people are ready?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait.
Can we get a little bit of thumbs up if people are on the right place? Amazing, seeing thumbs up. Wynn asks if they can make more than 2 eggs.
Cool, great question. So with this specific recipe, if you're not using a thermometer, I don't recommend using more eggs just because it's going to significantly impact the temperature of the water. But if you have a thermometer and you want to keep an eye on the temperature, you're more than welcome to use more. They need to be at around 167 degrees for 13 minutes.
And we're happy to send you the recipe later or after the workshop is done and follow up. This recipe in particular is for folks who don't have a thermometer. So if you do, that's great. You can do something maybe a little differently, but if you want to follow along, maybe leave that thermometer on the side. And yeah, because we've Sachi developed this recipe to work with 2 cold eggs, and particularly with like 4 cups of hot water and 1 cup of ice water, which I know that was a lot of numbers, I'm sorry. But the way folks usually make this is with immersion circulator, so we're doing a lot of shortcuts.
So our hot water is ready to go. So I'm just going to kind of talk through before we do it. So because I'm going to move pretty fast because I don't want the water to lose so much temperature. So I have my eggs ready in my ladle. And then do you mind measuring a cup of ice water for me? So we don't want to get any ice in the actual water because it's going to melt and also affect it, but we just want the water.
Yeah, great.
You can do it all the way up. Thanks. Okay, and then what happens is that I'm going to turn off my induction, take the lid off, put the cold water in, put the eggs in, and then put the lid back on. So everything after it's boiling is done with the heat off. So here we go. Cold water. Carefully drop those eggs in. Lid on, and then I'm setting a timer for 12 minutes. Great.
And then you're gonna want to move that aside. Of course.
How much time again should people be putting their timers on for?
12 minutes. If you're doing the 2 egg, no thermometer method. Cool, we can get rid of, or we can save that for the next one. So if you've dropped your eggs and you're good to go, we're gonna get a ice bath ready, but we'll let everyone get kind of caught up. But if you're done with the eggs, then you can get another ice bath ready with us.
And again, at this point, the water should be off the heat, right? Cool, great. Allegra asks if we should soak all of the seaweed in the packet.
Oh, yes. So you're gonna get, yeah, all the pieces of kombu in the water. Looks like Cassie's doing great. How's everyone else doing? Great.
Thumbs up, awesome.
Okay, we're gonna wait for a couple more thumbs up.
And just double checking that we have gotten our ice bath ready. And this ice bath is for when the timer rings, we're gonna put the eggs in the ice bath to completely stop the cooking. So if you haven't done the ice bath yet, yes.
Yes.
Sorry, maybe Al, do you
Yeah.
mind reading the question for us?
Can we use our quart container for the ice bath? And yes, we are taking it off the heat, Rebecca, at this point.
All of those are great. Quart container, great.
Thanks so much for your questions, by the way.
Cool, are we ready? Are we good? Thumbs up.
Can we get a thumbs
Okay.
up for who has their eggs, has their timer going for their eggs? Cool. When do I see you with a, yes, great. And Maud, are you good with your timer going? Amazing, cool. Awesome, everybody.
Okay.
So,
while
Sachi, I have a question. If I'm cooking 3 eggs, I want to keep the temperature at 160, did you say? For 13 minutes?
167.
167. Okay, thanks.
And roughly around there is fine. If it gets a little, like 160 to 170 is like a fine range.
Great, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, y'all. So as we're waiting for our eggs to be in their little water bath, we're gonna start all our prep for the veggies. So if you have your veggies ready for the soup and the pickles, and 1 garlic clove for the kombu. So again, we're gonna get the veggies for the pickle, the soup, and 1 clove of garlic. And I just have a little green onion to garnish. And then you're also you're also gonna wanna get 4 bowls, 3 to 4 bowls, just so we can separate our veg. So that's all ready. Thank you.
What size bowls would be great?
Like around pretty small, depending on how much veg that you want to put into soup. So we have also a metal bowl for the pickles. We're gonna be pouring tepid to warm pickling liquid over them, so you don't want to use something that might crack. Here, my tea bowls. Thank you. Okay. Okay, once you have all your veggies ready, I'm just going to wash my pickle veggie. We're using a cucumber. You can use cabbage, daikon, carrots, but we're using a cucumber.
So right now we're gonna try to get everything that we need to get chopped.
Mm-hmm.
So you only have to take out your knife and cutting board 1 time.
Yeah. How's everyone doing with that? Okay. Feel free to tell me if I'm going too fast. Right now I am cutting the pickle cucumber, the pickle veg or cucumber into bite-sized pieces, just because this is a quick pickle and I want it to be easy to eat.
If folks don't have a cucumber, what else might they use for their vegetable to pickle?
Yeah, you can use a carrot, radishes, cabbage, any veggie that's pretty hardy. I'm trying to also think, yeah, daikon. No, don't be. Okay, all those cukes already. Now I'm moving on to the soup veg. We really like just like nice stewed onions in the soup, so I'm just cutting that. You can add daikon, bok choy, ginger, spinach. Did we have a question?
Beth is wondering how they need the garlic prepared.
Okay, great. We're gonna get to that. So we got the pickle veg. We're gonna get the soup veg done. I'm gonna cut it into half moons.
And what's the best way of chopping the onion?
Oh, I'm just cutting it in half moons. Just pretty simple.
And you're using half an onion right now, half a small onion it looks like?
Yes, half a small onion.
Yeah, if you remember from the beginning when we did 2 to 3 cups of liquid on the kombu, that's basically the amount of soup. So we don't want like so much onion, but
yeah,
just like an amount to flavor and add a nice crunch, a little bit of a crunch to the soup.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now we're moving on to the garlic. I'm just gonna mince it as finely as you can. It's not too much pressure because we're gonna put it with the kombu. I think that size is good. Just one more pass through. Okay, and I'm setting it aside in another small bowl. And the reason why we have all these small bowls is just to separate it and so that we can know what's going in what. Okay, once you have,
like at the moment you have your pickle veg in one bowl, your soup veg in another bowl, and your garlic in a separate bowl. Is that right?
yes.
Amazing.
Okay, and now you're gonna check your kombu water or your dashi, and your kombu should have rehydrated and become a like more olive green. And so we're just gonna wanna shake off the excess water and take it out. So the kombu's done steeping. Yeah, and then make sure to save that water. And then for this kombu salad, my mom makes this a lot actually. You just wanna fold it over. This part is a little tough, let me get that off. And cut it as thinly as possible, almost like noodles. Let me just double check. It's a little harder.
So Katie just cut off a piece that was just like a little bit, it seemed like it had, maybe it was a little thicker and it didn't get rehydrated all the way, whereas the end of the piece and it got a little bit tough, which we don't want to eat. So you probably won't have that, but that's what we're doing.
Yeah.
And how are you cutting it, Katie?
I'm cutting it really thinly into little ribbons, like noodles, almost. So I just folded it onto itself to make it a little easier. And then once you are done with that kombu, you're gonna put it in the bowl with the garlic. I'm just gonna fix that because they didn't. Boop, boop, boop. Separate. And then you're gonna clean your board and your knife, and then you're all done.
Oh wait,
I'm gonna do the garnish. I'm gonna do the.
so this is like kind of a close-up, if you can see, of like the ribbony kombu with the garlic.
How is everyone doing with their cutting so far? Anybody want to slow down a second, show us what you're cutting, check in about vegetables that you want to be using?
All doing good?
Seems like they're doing well.
Heck yeah.
Sounds like people are slicing their kombu.
Oh, baby. And for bonus points, I'm just cutting up some green onion for some garnish. Our timer's about to go off.
What vegetables is everybody using for their pickles? Do you want to like unmute yourselves if you want? Shout it out.
I'm gonna use cucumbers.
Same here.
Okay, and is everyone keeping the timer? Because our timer is just about to ring. So sorry, I'm quickly switching gears for just a second. But once your timer is ringing, we want to carefully take the eggs out and just plunge them into the ice bath. All right. And then I can get rid of this water because we don't need it anymore. Go for it.
I feel like that's like the hardest cooking part, and now we're done.
Almost.
Moving that.
Yeah. So we'll give people a second to get caught up. And once you have your eggs out of the hot water and all of your vegetables chopped, just give us a thumbs up and we'll know to move on.
I'm gonna put this aside.
Sounds good. Okay. And once your eggs are in the water, sorry. Could you read the question, Al? I missed it. Please.
Sorry. I was looking at Justine's baby. I'm sorry. When else do you mix your kombu with your garlic?
Oh, did you mix? Oh, yes. Yeah, I put them in the same bowl, and we're gonna season it later.
Cool.
Yeah.
Oh, about once you put your eggs in the ice bath, you can forget about it until the end. So we're done with the eggs.
I'm seeing Anne's thumbs up, Cass, Allegra, I think I saw thumbs up. Francesca, that's not your name, is it? You know what? I'll skip that. Okay, cool. Thumbs up for everybody.
Brad, no, we're killing it. So now we're gonna start our soup. If you did get the materials packet, then you would have gotten. Oh, where is it? Oh, thank you. A little tea bag with bonito and some dehydrated daikon. If you didn't get the materials packet, you could just put like 2 pinches of bonito in replacement of this.
And we're also gonna need the dehydrated shiitake mushrooms that you got in the package. If you didn't get the packet, if you have dried mushrooms to add, you can add them whole, or you could slice them and add them dry.
Perfect. Okay.
So what Katie's doing right now is, this is the kombu water that we used from earlier. And we're just gonna put it in a pot and heat both the bonito flakes as well as the mushrooms in this kombu water. So, boop. Sorry.
Gonna put all those in. Great.
And we're gonna heat it on medium high because we want it to come to a simmer. And we're just gonna let it simmer for about 7-10 minutes.
Yeah.
So I'll put the lid on so it just goes a little bit faster.
So just confirming, in that pot, can you run through that one more time? What's in the pot?
Sure. We have our kombu water, the little tea bag of bonito flakes, or a couple pinches of bonito flakes, and the dried mushrooms. And we're gonna just let that simmer for 10 minutes.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Then once you plop that all into a pot, we're gonna do something that I love doing with my pickles, which is salting them. So with your bowl of chopped pickle veg, you're gonna want to salt them so that all the sides are covered. So I'm using diamond kosher salt, which is a little less salty than other salts. So you definitely wanna make sure or check your salt level of your salt or how salty your salt is. And I'm just tossing them in about 2 teaspoons of salt.
So if you have finer grain salt, you might want to use a little bit of less salt. But this, like Katie said, happens to be a little bit of coarse grain, so we're just doing like 2-3 teaspoons. And it doesn't really matter that much because we will be rinsing the salt off, but you just don't want to, you want to have enough salt.
Yeah.
And that's for about half of a cucumber, right?
Yeah, it was a pretty big cucumber. It was like this big. What's so rad about this is that we're just slightly cooking it. So when we pour over kind of warm liquid, it won't just like become, it won't lose its crisp. So we're slightly cooking it and preserving it so that when we do pour over the hot liquid, it'll retain its crisp for longer. But like depending on what salt you have or how long you salt it, it really doesn't matter because we're gonna rinse it off. Yeah, it's a pretty foolproof way of making sure your pickles just retain more texture.
And how long are we gonna do that for?
We're gonna do that for 8 to 10 minutes.
That's how long you leave the salt on the pickles before you rinse them off?
Yeah, just like a pre-seasoning.
How much salt?
How much salt?
Asking how much salt. So we used about 2 to 3 teaspoons or pinches of salt. Like Katie said, you want to be able to see the salt on the vegetable, like on all sides of the vegetable. But it will start to kind of sink in and disintegrate and get a little bit more liquidy as it sits.
Yeah.
And we're letting that rest for about 8 to 10 minutes.
So should we move on to
The soy? Great.
So I'm gonna move this pot of simmering soup. Sorry.
Should we have added vinegar yet, or is it the salt that is sitting for 7 to 8 minutes? There's no vinegar that we're adding just yet.
No vinegar that we're adding. We're gonna move on to the pickling liquid right now, where we're gonna add vinegar. But right now it's just veg and salt. Thank you.
Great.
Go ahead.
So I'm gonna move. Since we only have one induction, I'm gonna move the soup to our stove so we can use this induction and show y'all what we're doing with the vinegar. But keep your soup on medium. Once it starts simmering, turn it to low. We just want it to be gently simmering for about 10 minutes.
Okay. So as we move on to the pickling liquid, grab your soy sauce, rice vinegar or white vinegar, and sugar, and a half a cup, quarter cup measurement cup. Oh my God, words this morning.
They're hard.
I know. Oh, can you pass me the little stirrings? See it right there. Thank you. Okay. So once everyone has that, can I get a thumbs up?
There's one, there's two. Wow, lots.
Thumbs.
So fast.
Looks like so many thumbs. Y'all are on it.
Okay, so this recipe is pretty simple. It is 2 parts soy sauce to 1 part rice vinegar to 1 part sugar. So we're going to do equal parts vinegar and sugar and twice as much soy sauce. So I'm going to be using a quarter cup measure. So I'm going to do half a cup of soy sauce, a quarter cup of rice vinegar, and a quarter cup of sugar. It's a lot of numbers to be throwing around, so please feel free to ask questions. That's half a cup of soy sauce.
And if you are doing a little bit more vegetables than we are, you can feel free to just add a little bit more. But we want the vegetables to be covered in the liquid, so just keep that in mind.
I'm kind of doing something I shouldn't be doing. I'm really confident.
Great.
And for folks who are not watching, can you just say that ratio again out loud?
I would love to. So it is, thank you, half a cup of soy sauce, a quarter cup of rice vinegar, and a quarter cup of sugar.
Which is 2 to 1 to 1, right?
Oh, thanks.
Right.
Great. And then so once you have it all in the pot, give it a nice stir and then put it on low to medium low. We're just going to simmer this long enough so that the sugar dissolves. Right? Ooh, can I get a half a plate? Sure. Thank you. Once we're ready for that.
No, it's hard to, yeah.
How's everyone doing right now? Can I get a thumbs up if folks have got their sugar dissolving?
Oh, great.
Good.
Let's keep going.
Amazing.
Okay, so once that's all dissolved, I think ours is
Almost there.
almost there. Okay. Once it's there, we're gonna set aside 4 tablespoons of this soy vinegar sugar mixture. So basically what we're doing is we're making a little extra of things. Yes, someone asked if on low heat, it's gonna be on low heat because you don't wanna burn the soy sauce and sugar. So basically what we're doing is we're gonna be using this liquid in a bunch of different uses. So we're gonna make a makeshift ponzu sauce for our onsen egg. So that's what we're gonna set aside 4 tablespoons once your sugar is dissolved. Okay, I think it's done. Cool. Good.
When soup is super boiling, should they turn it down?
Yeah.
Yeah, please turn it down. We can just, if your liquid is like really evaporating, you can turn it off for a second and just let the residual heat kind of keep the tea bag steeping. So yeah, feel free to just keep it on low or even turn it off if it's getting a little bit too much of a boil.
Yeah, and that's perfect because we're going to use it right now.
Great.
Yeah.
So actually, yeah, it's a great segue.
And how much should they be removing from their soy sauce solution?
4 tablespoons. Oh, 4 teaspoons. Okay. So once you remove 4 tablespoons from your soy sauce liquid, we're going to remove the same amount out of this dashi, your soup.
So thanks.
That's fine. Yeah, great. Try not to get any shiitake in this separate.
And adding that into your soy sauce mixture that you have reduced.
Yeah. So 4 tablespoons of soy and 4 tablespoons of this soup base, this dashi.
And while we have the soup on, remember the onions that Katie sliced for the soup, we're gonna add those now. Oh, oops. There we go. And then we're gonna turn it on to low again.
If folk soup was boiling before, should they turn it back on now as well?
Yeah, you can turn it on because we want to cook the onion a little bit, but just keep it on barely simmering.
So low. Yeah, just add your soup veg in there. And then if you have any citrus for extra credit, you can just squeeze like a couple drops in this makeshift ponzu, in the dashi and soy mixture. Yum. And then you can set that aside. That's all done. Great.
So can you just remind everybody what all the pots are that you have going on right now?
Go for it. Okay. This is the soup. So we got the veg in, the bonito, and the shiitake.
I'm sorry, that's very loud. We have this pot, which is our soy sauce, vinegar, and sugar mixture, which is our pickling liquid.
And that's it.
And then, well, we do have that other sauce that we just made with the 4 tablespoons reserved of each liquid and a little bit of citrus, and that's the seasoning for our egg.
Okay, and then once you separated those, separated into a different sauce, which is the dashi and soy, we're gonna throw in our star anise from the materials packet, or if you have star anise or a couple of black peppercorns, just throw it into the soy mixture.
So the star anise is going into your pot of pickling liquid. And it does not need to be heated. It just is gonna
just sit there.
Sit in the warm water or liquid.
And use the lid. Is this lid fit?
Yeah.
Great. You can put a slice of ginger in there, a clove of garlic. I really like it with star anise because it adds a really nice medicinal sweetness that feels a little more round than just typical sugar. Also, licorice root is really good in there.
Should we rinse these?
Yeah, I would love to rinse them. Is everyone kind of in the same place? Put the aromatics in their soy mixture?
There's a lot of liquids, a lot of things happening. So just checking in. Let us know in the chat if you're confused or don't know what's going on.
Also, everybody feel free to just unmute yourselves at any point if you want to check in.
Sick. Not seeing any questions. Okay, so
Excuse me, the peppercorns went into the soy mixture or into the soup? I missed that.
The soy mixture.
The soy mixture, okay. All right, well, that might have been, oh boy, gonna have to dig those out now. It's okay.
Why not?
Bye.
Wait, are these the peppercorns
Let me see.
from the packet?
Oh, that's a star anise. So that's Togarashi. There should be another packet of like a star shaped.
Oh yeah, got that one.
Yeah, if you didn't have star anise, then I was like, maybe you could throw some black peppercorns in there. Yeah.
And Togarashi we'll use later, so yeah, everyone keep their little packet of, I don't know, what's it called, but yeah, we'll use it later.
Yeah. And now I'm gonna rinse the pickle veg. And you wanna rinse it with cold water just until all the salt is gone.
What does that do?
So what that does is it just rinses off all the excess salt so that our veg isn't so salty. But if you want to taste your veg after you rinse it, it should be seasoned all the way through.
Great. And the pickling liquid should be off the heat right now, right?
Yes.
Correct.
Great. Shake off any excess water. And here's what we got. So I'm gonna try a little bit of our cucumber. So it should have softened slightly.
Thanks.
But it should be seasoned all the way through and a little sweet. So because it cooks it slightly, it brings out the sugars of the vegetable. Yes. So once you rinse off your pickling veg, we're gonna pour over the pickling liquid. So that's the soy mixture. Yeah, you go for it.
Oh, I did it so that people can't see.
Great. So we're doing this in a bowl. You can do this in a ball jar. You can do this in a really heat-proof pint container. You just want to make sure there's enough liquid that covers all the vegetable.
And so that was everybody pouring all of their pickling liquid into a bowl with their vegetables that they have already just rinsed.
Yes.
You want us to take out the star anise or keep it in there?
It's going to keep flavoring the liquid, so it's only going to get... And what's great about this pickle is that after it sits for a bit, so after we're done with this, we're starting the plate, it's done. You can put it in the fridge and it lasts a week or two, up to a month. Yeah, so that's done.
I'm checking on my soup right now. It's kind of really boiling a lot, so I'm gonna turn it off, kind of give it a stir. I'm looking for the onions to be like soft. And I'm gonna actually give it a taste and see where we're at. Oh yeah, it's good.
Oh, good.
Do you want to try?
Yeah, I love you. Thank you. Oh, it's yummy. Onions so good. Oh, sorry.
So my soup, it was boiling pretty hard, so I'm just gonna let it keep steeping with the lid on without turning the heat back on. We can move this over a little.
Good. Yeah. And then, and so now I'm going to season the kombu salad. So what you want to grab is your vinegar, whether it's rice vinegar or white vinegar, some sesame oil or some chili oil, and some soy sauce.
And your kombu
And garlic.
Garlic.
Yeah. Okay. So this is pretty easy. This is another way you can use the pickling liquid if you would like. I'm just gonna do a little cheat. So I'm just gonna add like 2 teaspoons of the pickling liquid. Stir that around. Maybe like a teaspoon of vinegar. And just a couple drops of sesame oil. Too much.
So just to repeat that, we're just seasoning the kombu garlic mixture right now to make it like a little bit of a side salad pickle relish type situation. And Katie used a teaspoon of vinegar, a couple teaspoons of the pickling liquid, or you could use soy sauce, and a couple drops of sesame oil. And if you don't have sesame oil, or you can omit it. If you can give it a try and see what you think.
Yeah.
As far as seasoning.
Because when you make dashi, usually you like throw out the kombu, but we wanted to use it in a different method. And also this is just like a quick little panchan or Korean small dish that you can have with your lunch. And this is something that my mom makes with some like green onions on top and some sesame seeds. Yum. I might do a smidge more rice vinegar. But that's just because it's my taste. And we wanted all these recipes to be kind of base. We didn't want to have it be too much going on, just so that you can add your own flavorings if you wanted more soy or wanted more sesame oil. We really wanted these recipes to be very adjustable, especially in the pandemic. Like, I don't know, like not going to the grocery store as much. So you can pickle whatever, you can throw old veggies into the soup. Kind of wanted to accommodate whatever you have. Great, salad's done.
How is everyone doing? Where is everyone at?
Great.
Good? Thumbs up?
Thumbs up.
Amazing.
I added chili oil and green onion to my kombu salad. Delicious.
What's it looking like? Tasting like?
Sorry?
What should our soup be looking and or tasting like?
Sure.
Yeah.
Let's switch gears and work on it,
perfect.
because that's our last step before we're done and we're ready to plate. So right now, if you look, the soup is like pretty pale. It's pretty aromatic, I would say. Like it smells a little fishy, a little oniony and mushroomy, and we haven't salted it at all. So it's almost like a tea right now.
Rebecca had asked some of their soup liquid boiled away. Can they add extra water?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great idea. If you are looking at like very little soup, just add some water and turn the heat back on. Let the vegetables like steep into the water a little bit, and then you'll be good to go. But I'm gonna remove the bonito tea bag right now because it's been in here for a while. You can eat bonito flakes, which is essentially dried and shaved fish, but they're a little bit papery, so I was just gonna remove the tea bag, and I'll squeeze some of the liquid to get all of that goodness. Thank you. And now we're at the seasoning step, which you can use anything you want to season the soup. What's pretty common is using miso and making like a miso soup, or you can use salt or soy sauce or fish sauce. You can really change the soup now to be to your taste. We're gonna today season it with a little bit of salt and a little bit of soy sauce. So I'm gonna just start slow and use about maybe 1.5 tablespoons or a couple teaspoons of soy sauce.
If folks are using miso paste, how much should they add?
Great question. Start small, maybe a tablespoon, and you can probably add up to, depending on how strong and salty your miso is, up to 2 to 3 tablespoons. Yeah, and just so just add it slowly. What I like to do is, if you're using miso, grab a little bit of liquid, add the miso to the liquid, and mix it to make it what word?
Like not.
Right,
Yeah.
right. And then add it back to your soup like that. It's a good way so that you don't get like clumps of miso floating in your soup. So now I'm gonna give it another try. That's good. I think I need a little more soy.
Yeah. You can add tofu to the soup, bean sprouts. Something that Sachi showed me was some slivers of tomato. It's really nice. How's that?
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Maybe a little more salt. I don't know. Give it a try. I'm indecisive today.
Oh, it's good.
Okay.
Oh my gosh. I need to add some sweetness. Yummy. Seasoned beautifully, Sachi.
Thanks.
Okay, y'all.
How's everyone doing? How's everyone's soup tasting?
Delicious, thank you.
Thank you. So I think Katie's gonna get started in plating all of our dishes that we've made. So we asked in the email for you to get some steamed rice ready to go. So we'll be plating some steamed rice into some bowls. Yeah. And then putting everything else out too.
Do you want to do the onsen egg first?
Can we check in with folks real fast? Can we get a thumbs up for if everyone's ready to start plating? Amazing. So many thumbs up. Thank you.
You are so
quick.
Great.
Okay, so I totally forgot about our onsen eggs. The last seasoning packet will be, someone asked if what we're going to be using the last seasoning packet for, which Katie is getting out right now, and that's going to be the seasoning for the egg, and I'll talk a little bit about it after we crack it into the bowl. So the cracking is fun, but a little bit, you just got to be gentle because these eggs are pretty loose on the inside. So I recommend just giving it some nice taps kind of all around. Carefully, oh, this looks good. Removing some of the shell. And then, so the whites end up being a little bit runny. So I like to crack it into my hand and let some of the excess white fall away if there is some. Oh, it's perfect.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
So this is actually cooked perfectly. So there's not too much extra white. And then I'm gonna just slide it from my hand into a serving dish. And as you can see, it's like perfectly wobbly, but the yolk is still gonna be loose and runny.
If folks' eggs don't look like that, what should they be looking out for?
Well, what's great about this egg is that it is a very gentle boil, if that, like a very gentle cooking process. So most of it is cooked. Like it's not, if you don't like your eggs, it's basically down to preference. If you don't like your eggs that runny, you can increase the cooking time. Basically what you're looking for is like a translucent egg. And
so this one actually was a little bit less cooked for, I don't know, for a variety of reasons, who knows why, but you know, it's still okay. We still have some white, some yolk, and we're gonna make it pretty. So if your egg looks a little loose like that, it's kind of normal for sometimes for it to separate.
Yeah,
that's really funny actually. They're super funny.
But the yolk feels cooked.
Yeah.
So Can't really go wrong with this recipe. It's still gonna be delicious.
So to the eggs, Katie's adding some of that egg seasoning citrus soy soup mixture from before, the reserved 4 tablespoons.
Makeshift ponzu.
That's good.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then to that, we're adding some of this homemade togarashi that we sent you. If you don't have togarashi, you can add a little sesame seed, a little gochugaru, which is a Korean red pepper flakes, some crunched up seaweed, nori. But what we've made is like a 7-spice pepper mix. So we have different types of seaweed, black and white sesame, some of the gochugaru chili, and some dehydrated lime zest and onion and garlic. So we're just gonna add a little bit of that to the top of our eggs. We gave y'all a lot of this. You're definitely not gonna wanna use all of this today, but it's a great seasoning for like pretty much anything. You can put it on eggs, you can season meat with it, you could
Just put it on rice and
put it on rice and eat it. You could even like put it on a salad or in a salad dressing as like the salt. So there are a lot of uses, and we hope that you can enjoy it throughout the week.
Yeah.
And remind us about how much of the ponzu, the makeshift ponzu, we're putting over our eggs.
Oh, thank you. Yes, we're gonna just put a tablespoon or 2 because the togarashi is salty. The soy sauce in there is salty, so just as if you're just like adding a little extra salt.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you. And now I'm just plating up the kombu salad. Just getting a little everything in there. Just pour it. Oh, all those garlic rice. Then I'm just gonna garnish it with some sesame seeds for a little bit of crunch, some cuteness.
And to the eggs, we're adding the tablespoon or so of the makeshift ponzu, and then a little sprinkle of the togarashi packet, right?
Yes. Yes. Okay. So now we're gonna look at our pickles. Here, I'm gonna show you. So the cucumber really took on the pickling liquid and should be like a nice brown. Just gonna plate it now, take them out. And again, you can, whatever pickles you have left over, you just put them in the fridge. Make sure that there's enough liquid covering the vegetables, and that can last up to a month in your fridge. It's great. Oh, can you pass me a little paper towel?
Sure.
Thanks. I'm gonna wipe the plate off. Get any drippy drips. Oh, pretty. Sick. Thank you. Okay, do you need the ladle?
Yes, please.
Here we go.
Spilling everywhere.
Really far past the step, but what can we do to fix our eggs if they're not what they need to be for next time?
Yeah, so you
Like,
can.
tell us what they look like, or tell us what they look like.
They're a little under, I think.
I don't know. Hard
They're
to
just a
tell.
little more soft than maybe they
Yeah.
should be.
Oh, you can't see. That's
Don't pour it.
I'm not gonna pour it on my
Yeah, you can just keep it in a little extra warm water and like increase it to 13 minutes. If you still have the other one in the shell, you can just put it in warm water again for maybe another 1 or 2 minutes. And that should fix the problem.
Okay, thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, they're a little tricky, to be honest, without a thermometer, but what I think is nice about the eggs is that there's really, for at least my taste, a range of hard and softness that I'm okay with. because it's really good over rice. So if it's a little runny for me, it's okay.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
like, how raw is too raw? Rebecca is asking.
Okay. Yeah, well, we did put it in a bath for 12 minutes. So I think it really just depends on your preference. Like if your egg is coming out as if it's like nothing happened, like just a raw egg, then that I would say is too raw. But hopefully it doesn't turn out that way. Like I'm gonna show you with this egg. Like it is loose, but all the whites are cooked. Like everything is cooked, it's just separated. Even though it is a little bit runny, like all the whites are
White.
opaque, yeah.
Great, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Cool.
Yeah.
And Katie garnished the soup beautifully with a little green onion as well as the salad.
We're done. Where's everyone at? How's everyone looking?
Hey, sorry, I'm a little behind. I just got the shell off my eggs because they didn't want to come off. What
Okay.
did you put in your egg? Is that what the seasoning doodle is?
Yeah. So we put a little bit of the togarashi, which is the seasoning, and then we also put about a tablespoon of that makeshift ponzu sauce that we made with like the reserved 4 tablespoons of soy and reserved 4 tablespoons of the dashi.
Okay, and then sesame seeds on top?
You don't have to use sesame because the sesame is actually in if you receive the seasoning, but
Yeah.
Got it. Thank you.
So what did you put sesame seeds on top of?
We put sesame, we put some raw sesame or toasted sesame on top of the pickle and on top of the kombu salad. It's a little bit hard to see, but it's underneath the green onion. And that's all just if you want to.
Yeah.
It's not absolutely necessary. It adds some nice flavor.
Mm-hmm. And for the onsen egg, there's gonna be like a layer of white on the outside that's gonna be hard to peel. So what Sachi did was basically crack along the middle and then crack the egg into her hand so any of the loose whites went through and then plated that. There's gonna be like a little ring of harder whites on the outside that you don't really need to grab if you don't want to.
Oh yeah, if you can see the inside of the shell, so the whites that were closest to the shell kind of adhere to the inside of the shell. And that's okay to just leave them and discard them. Any more questions?
Wonderful. Thank you so much. I'm going to call Sophie down for lunch right now.
Thank you so much. This was so fun. Thank you.
Oh, of course.
Thank you. That was great.
Thank you so much.
We get off.
Blast.
I learned so much.
Thank you. I have to experiment with that onsen
Can't wait
egg
to
and
eat
get that
this
technique
all.
down. It's very interesting.
Oh, we would love to see some of your spreads.
I'm gonna put this up so I can die.
Okay, thanks.
Good.
Let's see.
Show and tell. Oh, wow.
Oh, that's amazing.
Wow, that's so good.
Brad.
Thank you.
Wait, Cass, show us your spread again.
Wow,
Oh,
that's
it's
awesome.
amazing.
Those eggs
Oh
look.
my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
Looks awesome.
It's so good.
Looks delicious.
Couldn't have done it.
Yeah, it was so much fun.
Who else wants to show us their spread? Oh wait, Justine, is that what's happening right now? No.
Oh,
I'm
you're
just serving my rice still, and then I'll show you guys.
okay.
Okay. I'm having trouble with the spotlighting situation, clearly.
Grab this.
Oh.
Our spread.
Allegra, how are you all doing over there?
The presentation does not look as nice as some others, but the flavors are looking great.
Yes.
Amazing.
So Katie and Sachi, here's our spread.
Let's see.
You guys see?
Oh, that's beautiful.
There's Sophie. I put tofu in a soup and mushrooms, enoki mushrooms and bean sprouts.
Nice.
Yeah. And then we have our, the kombu salad and the cucumbers. Thank you for the cucumbers. That's great. And then the onsen egg is there.
That's awesome. It looks
Yeah,
great.
it's delicious. What a great vegetarian dinner. This is
So
lunch.
good.
It's so great. Thank you so much. It's perfect.
Christine, you're on. Show us.
I have a little bit of a crying baby, but we have our soup and our pickle and our salad. Our eggs didn't turn out, but I'm gonna just try making some soft boiled ones and add the seasoning to that.
Amazing.
Go for it.
That's awesome.
Is that a baby? Was that a real baby?
This is Marcy.
Oh,
Oh my God.
She's 7 weeks.
Oh my God, she's so small.
so
Oh
cute.
my God, congratulations. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Wow. That's incredible.
She's smiling.
Oh my God, it's a baby. Wow. That's amazing.
Feel free to
Thanks,
dig in.
Katie and Sachi. That's delicious. We're looking forward to this. This is amazing. Thank you so much.
Sure.
Thank you.
Great techniques. Thank you so much.
No, dig in. Have you tried the onsen egg yet?
No.
Question
I'm
about
about to. Oh, yes.
question about tofu in the soup. What firmness of tofu would work, and how would you prepare it?
So what I like to do, it's honestly, you can use, I like silken tofu, but you can use any tofu. Sometimes if I don't firm or medium, and you can just, I like to rinse it out of the package and cut it into whatever size cubes you want and add it towards the end just so that it's heated through. And then because the tofu isn't seasoned, I often find that I'm seasoning the soup a little bit more so that, because the tofu will water it down a little bit.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
This looks so delicious, everybody.
Sophie.
Yeah, Mom?
Oh, no, sorry.
No, what were you gonna ask?
I got my kimchi. Gotta have kimchi.
Is this where you learned to make kimchi?
I'm gonna no. My mom is a great cook, but we did not make kimchi in the house. We got it from H Mart, which is also a great place to get kimchi.
But now
I make my own kimchi under Katie's Kimchi, and 100% of the profits are redistributed to a new campaign or org every month. So for August and September, all the profits are going to individual Black and Indigenous folks' campaigns, so like on GoFundMe and such. And then next month, so for October, oh geez, it's going to Bed-Stuy Strong, which is a rad mutual aid network in Bed-Stuy. Yeah.
Great.
I make a
So
lot of kimchi.
are you going to do a class on how to make kimchi, Katie?
Maybe. Maybe that's the next session too. We'll see, Mom.
That'd be great. That's what I need to learn.
I feel like you have a solid market for that.
Yeah, oh my gosh, I'm sure. I'm so sure. I love my kimchi. It's so fun. It's really therapeutic for me. You're just rubbing vegetables. Have most people worked with ingredients like this before?
We've worked with some of them, but some of them were new to me. Some of the seaweeds I haven't really worked with before.
When
Yeah,
oh, sorry. I'm on spot.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh my gosh!
Oh. Looks so good.
Wow, beautiful.
Looks good.
Thank you.
I have a question. So, one time I accidentally bought wakame instead of kombu, and I haven't really used it. I use kombu a lot, but wakame, I like literally I haven't touched it. But do you guys recommend doing something with it?
Yeah, it's like a covered staple for me because I actually would put it in this soup. So and it expands really dramatically. So you need like a teaspoon, and sometimes you can either pre-soak it in cold water and then cut it up for the soup, or you can just kind of crunch up the dried bits and drop it into the soup. Like that's like one of the last steps, and it's
okay. Cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks.
Hey.
Homemade too is like so edible, where I feel like kombu's a little tougher. There's also a Korean dish that I'm gonna butcher the pronunciation of, but it's myeokguk. It's a beef seaweed soup, and so that's also what you would use.
Oh my gosh, that sounds so good.
The wakame.
Yeah.
And just
what was that? I missed that last one.
Sorry. You could instead of the kombu that we used for the kombu salad, you can use it to make like a cold salad. You just need to rehydrate it in cold water and then drain the water and then add your seasonings.
Okay. Good to know. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Those rad questions.
Allegra, that looks so beautiful. You ready for a spotlight?
It came out really
finally.
Check it out. Thank you all so much. This is amazing. We redid our eggs, but they look good.
Awesome.
God. Do you want to go? You get that one. I want this one. Yeah. So this is how we eat it. I burst the egg and kind of mix it with the sauce and just almost like drink it or pour it over rice. Oh my gosh. So good.
So everybody, we've got about 5 minutes left, and then we're gonna leave you on your days. While we are wrapping up, again, please feel free to answer any questions, unmute yourselves, or drop it in the chat box. Katie and Sachi, where can people find you, keep up with you? What projects are you working on and are excited about that you want to share?
Thanks, Al. Yeah, folks can follow us on Instagram at both.and.co. We have a couple projects coming up in terms of like hopefully like dining out dinners and such, or like, you know, delivering dinners, sorry. And a couple other projects that we're excited to announce soon. And yeah, Katie's Kimchi is also something that I'm doing on the side, where I'm selling kimchi to redistribute the money to other folks.
And you can always email us, because I think you have our email with questions, thoughts, concerns, or if you ever make this again, pictures of that meal. We'd love to see it.
Yeah, and we love answering emails. So if you have any questions going forward, we would love to answer them.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you all.
Yeah, thanks everyone. It's so wonderful.
Thank you.
Y'all?
Thank you.
Yeah.
You all like really were on point. I feel like, no offense to yesterday's group or anything. You guys really kept up.
Yeah.
Thank you all again, so much for being here and for participating in our first workshop week with the Level Up Project. just a reminder, this workshop has been recorded, so you'll receive a link to the recording in about a week. So you can continue to cook with Katie and Sachi like forever. And please don't forget to sign up for our mailing list. I really hope we have a mailing list at this point, so you can learn about future events for the Level Up project. We are trying to get something together for December, so there will be a whole round of a dozen or so workshops in a couple of months. And that's about all I got.
Thanks, Al.
Yeah,
Al,
thank
you were
you so much.
amazing.
You're amazing.
Amazing moderator.
Thank you, Allison.
Also,
Thank
Nabila
you.
just joined us. I just want to give a shout out to Nabila down here. I'm spotlighting you for a hot sec. Nabila has been working on the back end of the Level Up project as well, and also just led a workshop in visual case studies and branding yesterday, which was amazing. That's all. Yeah.
It's all a testament to Allison's hard work. I'm sure Katie and Sachi can vouch for that.
Yeah, so I think it looks like everybody's eating, so we should let people continue their days, yeah?
Yeah, sounds good. Thanks y'all so much again.
Thank you.
Thank you all so much.
Thank you again.
Thank you. Great job.
Bye.
Bye, everyone. Great job.
Wonderful. Thanks, guys. Bye.
Bye.